kids, welcome back to Learning Theories with Lucy. Today, we're going to learn about tolerance theory. We're going to talk about the main idea of the theory, the four big ideas it's made of, and think about some of the reasonings behind the theory. But first, let's go over some important information. In America, we have the Constitution, an important piece of law document that sets up how we do rules in America and the systems we have. The Bill of Rights is one of the things in the Constitution, and it says what rights we as U.S. citizens have, and is considered very important for law. The First Amendment is the first thing listed in the Bill of Rights, and it protects the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and the right to petition the government. Today, we're just going to focus on the freedom of speech it gives. Now, people believe lots of different things, and it's good to have people who believe different things because then you can talk about them. Like, if you think Elsa is the best Disney princess and I think Rapunzel is the best, we can talk about why we like them and learn new things. Like, did you know Rapunzel painted all the paintings on her wall? So cool. But even though we disagree, and I still think Rapunzel is better, I think you have the right to believe Elsa is the best, even if I don't think she's the best. This is the main idea of tolerance theory. I don't agree with you, but I think you have the right to believe it. But what does this have to do with the First Amendment? Well, the freedom of speech is what protects our right to believe different things and to talk about them. It means the government can't make it illegal to express a belief. They can't make it illegal to say Rapunzel is the best. It also means they can't force you to say a belief. Like, they can't force you to say that Elsa is the best. You might be wondering why tolerance theory is needed. Like, shouldn't we all agree people should be allowed to believe what they believe? Well, it's not that simple. People can feel really strongly about what they believe and want others to think what they think. When someone starts to think that their way of thinking should be more important than others, that is intolerance. The first big idea is that humans have the tendency for intolerance. When we see something we don't agree with or think is bad, our first instinct is usually to want it to not be a problem, to get rid of it, to be intolerant of it. People usually want to be intolerant of things that come from other ways of thinking because they think that different way is bad. But it can also come from wanting to protect people because we don't want to tolerate people being intolerant. When someone is intolerant, it can be in the form of them being mean or hateful. And we don't want them to be hateful. That's how people's feelings get hurt. But tolerance theory doesn't only think people's beliefs should be protected, it also thinks people's ability to be intolerant should be protected. If Susan said people are bad if they like other princesses better than Elsa, that is the belief Susan has. And so, tolerance theory thinks it should be protected. Basically, people can be intolerant because that doesn't take away my right to express things. But the government, the people who tell you what is and isn't allowed, they shouldn't be intolerant because that would take away my right to express something. The second big idea is that intolerance can happen in expression and non-speech acts. Intolerant expression are the things you say and how you treat people. Intolerance theory believes this should be protected, even if you are being mean and hateful. Like if Susan were to be mean to me because Elsa isn't my favorite. Intolerant non-speech acts are the things you do based on your intolerance. Like if someone decided not to hire me because of their intolerance, or if Susan decided to graffiti snowflakes on my house. That's not protected speech. The third big idea of tolerance theory is that a self-governing society needs checks to keep intolerance from occurring. America is a self-governing society. It's a place run by the people who live there, and us people are humans who have the tendency for intolerance. Because tolerance theory wants to protect people's rights, it doesn't want the government to be intolerant. But the government is run by people who have the tendency for tolerance. So the government needs checks to make sure intolerance can't take reign. Checks are the other parts of government who balance out the power so that no one person has too much power. The fourth big idea is that tolerance in law will help grow tolerance in people. If we have to practice respecting people's right to have different beliefs in law, maybe we will respect their right to have different beliefs in our speech and action. The downside is that intolerant expression is allowed and people can face hate and deal with discrimination. Those are things that hurt people, so it can be easy to not want them to be allowed. But legal punishment is not the only way to affect people's behavior. There are also social consequences, and those can also help develop tolerance. People don't usually like it when someone's being mean or intolerant, so when they see that happening, they might let go over and let them know, hey, that's not cool, and talk to them about it. Or if someone's being really problematic, they might lose friends or get kicked out of spaces for being hateful. If people are able to make mistakes and learn from their social consequences, tolerance theory thinks that of their chances of developing tolerance are more likely than if they were to face legal consequences. If we hear that something isn't right from our friends, we're more likely to listen to them than if we hear it from the law. The criticism of tolerance theory is that by setting tolerance as the standard, people may not feel like they should say something when they see someone being intolerant. The law is setting a standard that encourages tolerance, but it also encourages passivity, which is where you don't say something when you see someone being intolerant and you just let it happen. It can be intimidating to break the status quo by telling someone they're wrong for being intolerant, because telling someone they're wrong is intolerance. And it can be hard to remember that there needs to be intolerant of intolerance for tolerance to grow. An integral way for people to learn and grow is when they have conversations with each other. Being able to talk about the things you believe without fear of action gives you the opportunity to think about what you believe critically. When it becomes illegal to express something, it doesn't stop a person from believing it stops them from being able to talk about it. When you talk about things with other people, you have to think about it in more depth. People are complex, and others think about things differently than you, so getting to talk to them gives you new perspectives to consider. When the freedom of speech is threatened and the right to express things is taken away, it becomes less safe to have conversations where you can actually listen and talk about what you think. Now, there is one more reason to consider when deciding how you, the listener, feel about tolerance theory, because it can be easy to just want to not let hateful speech be allowed and to regulate it. But consider this: the people in power will always have something they want to be intolerant of, and you might agree with who they want to silence now, but the people in charge will change, and one day you could be the person they want to restrict. Protecting everyone's rights helps protect your rights too. To recap, tolerance theory says that I should support your right to believe something even if I don't believe it. Humans have the tendency for intolerance. Intolerance can occur in expression and non speech acts. A self governing society needs checks to stop intolerance in the government. And finally, tolerance promotes tolerance. This has been Learning Theories with Lucy, and we have covered tolerance theory. I hope you have a bountiful day. May the cows moo upon you.